Bella and Hendry. Frida, wait for me. Hey Bella, that's you? Where you been? I been to hail Nezzy, but I going out to cook before that man come home. I gonna cook some okra, salt pork, and grits. I ain't get no relish, but a belly full is belly full, and thank God for what I get. That's what my ma always say, answered Frida. But I get two little fried goggle-eyed fish with boinies. Just give me, I could give you one of them. Gal, thanks. At least it'll be something I could put on the side of Hendry plate. I can give him the head part cause he like he fish head. So they stood under the rose apple tree whilst Frida carefully set a straw basket on a clean pile of dry leaves on the side of the road. First her Bible, wrapped in a clean white piece of cloth, was taken from the top of the basket and placed under her left arm. She had considered giving it to Bella to hold, but Bella, although her cousin, was not too clean. Right now, it seemed as if her feet hadn't seen water for days. Bella ain't gonna touch her Bible. The Bible was placed firmly under her left arm along with the Methodist hymnal Redemption Songs, what her cousin Leroy gave her. Finally, at the bottom of the basket, the fish was discovered wrapped first in a piece of greasy brown paper, then in a section of newspaper so that no fishy smell could go on the rest of her things. One of the goggle eyes were transferred to a piece of the brown paper and placed in the hands of Bella, who thought that Frida was so slow, Bella, would never get home in time to cook Hendry food. Thanks, Frida. When my dilly full, I can give you some to sell with your load. Okay, Bella, but gal, let's hurry up go cause I see Willa says coming, and she like people business. So the two women went on up the road until they got to Bella's gate, where Frida, having a sweet piece of gap seed, caused Bella to forget all about cooking Hendry's dinner. In the midst of the story, she glanced down by Marlowe's shop and halted. Hey Bella, ain't that Hendry coming now? Gal, Frida, I gone, replied Bella. On this note, Frida sped up the road, while Bella dashed to the house. She flung the fish on the wooden table where it landed among a 1-pound paper bag of sugar that abounded in black wild ants. 4 dirty enamel bowls and cups, a piece of salt pork, and a clay pipe. She grabbed the salt pork, onion, and the pot in which she had brewed some orange leaf tea that morning and flew out of the back door to the fire hearth. Back inside for the matches and the knife, which she fished for feverishly in a tin dishpan of dirty water. Grabbing it out and neglecting to rinse it, she flew outside, flinging the leaves out of the hand, while frantically pushing pieces of wood between the 3 stones that made up the fire hearth with the other. A handful of twigs and dry grass. Now light it with a match. Match blew out from the breeze. Light another. Blew out. Now here. Bend forward. Shield the match. Okay, light. In desperation, began muttering to herself. Fling the pot on and throw pieces. While it frying out, chop up the okra and onion. All fry together. That's Henry to the gate, telling Boozy good evening. She slipped inside the back door again and grabbed the can of tomato paste. The result of leaving the paste in the can after opening it. This was scraped into the pot to join the half-fried salt pork, okra, and onions, then stirred perfunctorily. Now I only got to put the water in. Hendry was coming up the front steps as she dipped one of the dirty cups into the enamel water bucket. The bucket was empty. I reach. That's Hendry. Oh, you reach, eh, Hendry? You come home early today? No, ain't early. I reach the same time I always reach. And I hungry. I soon finish cooking. Why you don't finish yet? You know what time I just reach home. You been walking again, hey? Now, Hendry, you don't yuck up my workstation today. I is the woman who outside there cooking over the smoky fire hearth so you could have something to put in your belly when you reach home. And you want fool with me? You like walk too much, that's what's wrong with you. I ain't got time to argue with you. I gotta finish cooking. Grabbing the bucket, she dashed to the pot to remove it from the fire, then let out an angry wail. Hendry, you see what you caused? The food done black. Will you cause them to burn right up from arguing with me? Well, you're gonna eat salt pork and grits today, cause I ain't get no more okra. With this remark, she pulled the pot off the fire and went next door to Anisi's well. Kading happened to be there drawing some water. At least, which is Kading's proper name. Let me draw some water quick. My pot on the fire and that man done reach home and tormenting me for your food. Let you get water? How come you just remember to get water after you done start cooking? I gotta hurry up because mama waiting for this water so she could cook. Belly, you just too donkey-fied. If you don't want to let me get the water, just say so and mind your own business at least. I finished now so you could get your water, said Kading, hoisting her bucket onto her head and stalking off. Bella, still grumbling to herself, let the bucket down in the well. But when she drew it up, the rope being so frayed, which she would have noticed if she wasn't so busy rowing with Kading, decided to pop just as she was about to grab a hold of the handle of the bucket and pull it over the lip of the well. Bella studiously fired off 6 bad words in succession, 2 at the bucket, 2 at Kading, and 2 at Hendry. By the time she went back to the house, got an old wire hanger and tied it to the rope to hook the bucket, she felt sure someone had a hand on her. Finally, the salt pork and grits was done, and Bella was slapping it into 2 enamel pans when she heard Uncle Gil from round Dorset Street put his head in at the door. Good evening. She grabbed an enamel bowl, slapped her share of grits in it, and portioned out the remainder in the 2 enamel pans. She put the fish head with a bit of flesh on Hendry's, the tail section on hers, and the mid-section on Uncle Gil's. The reason for this was an unwritten law of courtesy that whenever anyone dropped in uninvited, one must offer them, even sometimes offering the plate that was being eaten off, if all the food had already been shared. Come in, Gil. Sit down. You want some dinner? We just going to eat, said Hendry, hoping there was enough, because his belly was growling. I won't cut you out, Hendry. I only stopped to hail. You only stopped to hail because you know people going to eat, grumbled Bella to herself. Near the end of the meal, Uncle Gil discovered the salt pork skin in his pan and carefully pushed it to the side so that he could eat it last. Finally, he got to it, slowly savoring the salty, glutinous chewiness of it. Hendry saw it all and glared at Bella. Just wait till Gil go. Finally, Gil left, and with him, Hendry's restraint. What you mean by giving Gil my pork skin? I bet that's your sweetheart. You know he was going to stop here this evening. I want my pork skin back. I should... Whap! Bella hit him flat in his face with the enamel pan. They connected in the opening between the rooms where 2 ways met. By now, they were both past reasoning and hugged each other with a rapturous fury, each stenching with all their might whilst trying to throw the other. Aunt Pay, passing by in the gloaming, spotted them through the open front door and, thinking they were in a romantic clinch, remarked that they could have at least closed the door instead of hugging up each other like that in public, even though they married. Finally, they both fell to the floor, and rolling under the round kitchen table, it promptly fell on them due to the fact that it only had 3 legs and was propped against the corner of the wall. That brought them to their senses, and Bella declared then and there, while crawling out from beneath the table and through the bowls, pans, and cups, that she leaving his backside tonight. Bella, blanket under one arm and a small bundle of clothes under the other, trudged from her house on Stepp Street to Cox Street to her cousin Amelia's house. They had avocado, pear leaf, and Johnny cake, while Bella told her just how it go. And he say, I must see sweetheart and Gil. You see how big that man nose is? Amelia meekly said yes, she did notice that Gil had a big nose, to which Bella replied, Finally, they went to bed, Bella throwing her blanket in the front room on the floor near Amelia's 3 children, while Amelia blew out the lamp, went behind the chintz curtain into the other room, and climbed into bed beside her 2 smaller children. Looking up at the ceiling, she sighed and wondered how in the world she was going to manage with Bella there. At 11 o'clock, when all decent Foxillians were long in bed, there was a low knock at the door. Bounding up, Amelia put her hand through an opening in the head of the iron bedstead, unlatched the wooden window, and pushed it out. Come to this window, she hissed. A dark silhouette slid round the corner of the house. Then there was a hurried, whispered conversation. Bella, who was still too het up to sleep because of her battle with Hendry, quietly rose up off the floor and put her ear to the partition. She couldn't make out a word. Tiptoeing to the half door, she put an eye to one of the seams in the top half and waited for the man to pass back. In another minute or so, he came stealing past the door. Ha! That looked like blooming husband Herb. Well, ain't Cousin Amelia sly, eh? Everybody did want to know who that last child was for. Mind you, it favored him for true now she think of it. You never know, hey? So she crept back to her place on the floor to think that out till she fell asleep. There were no street lights in Foxville back then. And on moonless nights, you had to watch out for spirits. It was society night, and Bella was going by Frida's house to walk along with Frida, Leslie, Lovely, and Aunt Nicey. She decided that she would leave just at twilight, since she was staying with Amelia, because she didn't want to walk alone in the dark, seeing as how she could see spirit. Her and Hendry used to go and come together, but she don't even speak to him now. He had the nerve to ask her when she coming home. As she approached the corner by baby Dorset's house, where Cox and Grant Streets meet, there was Herb, coming down Grant Street past Geezer and Nezzie Davis' yard. "Hey, Bella, you going to society, eh?" "Yeah." Flat, just like that. "Well, since the two of we going the same place, let we walk together." "I just walk with Frida them," said Bella, catching him up short. "Well, you could walk as far as them with me, then we all could go together." Bella hesitated for a moment. "All right then," reluctantly. Encouraged by this, Herb stepped forward with alacrity and set the conversation rolling, not noticing it was one-sided. As they approached the corner of Grant Street and Bernard Road, he decided to take a chance and pinch her bottom. "You know, Bella, I always had my eye on you. You ain't with your husband now, so you gonna need one boyfriend." "Need one boyfriend?" bellowed Bella. "You? And you was a married man? And I see you dodging around Amelia house? And you a society brother? You want me to throw my gown till over my head at you? Carry your head from me. I can tell the society about you. And I can fast and pray for you." And she did. Pray and tell. By this time they were passing Silas Bryce Sexton's house. And behind them were Mama Lou, Ma Pay, and Breezy, and Mistrella. "Who that is in front?" warbled Mistrella, who was a bit deaf and always spoke in a loud guttural warble. "Sound like Bella rowing someone," Mama Lou shouted back, then clapped her hand over her mouth in consternation, thinking that Bella must have heard her. "Who was she rowing, Lulie?" This from Mistrella again. "We don't know, Drella," answered Mama Lou in a much quieter tone, wishing that Mistrella would do the same. "Well, whoever it is, Bella handling him, so we ain't got to worry," said little Ambreezy with confidence. To this they all heartily agreed. A few days later, Willa Sayers was passing by Nezzie and Geezer's house. Bella, stepping out of their gate, had a crocus bag half full of peach mangoes that Nezzie had just given her, and was heading towards Step Street in the direction of her and Hendry's house. "Bella, I hear you was staying with your cousin Amelia. You moved back home, eh?" said Willa slyly, hoping for some juicy gap seed. Bella plumped the crocus bag down on the side of the road and stood arms akimbo. "Only 3 don't move, Willa. And when hurricane come, even they just move." Having said that, she picked up the sack and sailed off to cook Hendry's dinner, dried conch and grits.